Good evening, everybody, and good evening, and it's good evening on a Good Friday, and I have to apologise that I said I was going live at 10, and I fell asleep, so here I am at 10:30 with the many apologies for not being live at 10. Hi Juliet, just apologising because I fell asleep and missed my 10 o'clock deadline, which shows you I obviously have been having too much of a good time, and I dozed off. So apologies there. I'll have to set a clock next time. Hi Crystal, hi Ian. So anyway, I'm here now, and it's just gone 10:30, and it's been another good Friday. Hi Karen. And so in my header, let's put, what did I put? It's an important day in my life. Find out what a burglary, hot cross buns and the baby has to do with it. Well, Good Friday is a significant day in my life, and I'm going to take you back to Good Friday 1971. And it was a nice day. My family and I went out. We were going out with members of our church. Hi, Karen. And we were going off on a ramble. So there we are. We got ready. We met up with our friends from church, and off we went for a ramble. We're talking about 1971, and actually when I was doing my calculations and writing my notes, I actually had to work it out because I couldn't remember which year it was, but I knew how old I was, so I had to do the math to work it back. Anyway, we met up with our friends and off we went on a ramble, a Good Friday ramble, and we had a lovely time, and we did a lot of these things from with our church folks. Yeah, you were only 11 then. I was 20 then, Karen. And so, as I say, we went off on this ramble. And we lived in a big house way back then. Hi, Marion. And we used to love having lots of parties. And so what my mum decided was that rather than everybody go home at the end of the event, why shouldn't we have a party? So what she did, she invited people. You were just two, or you youngsters, you. So she invited people to come back to our house for a party. So what people did, they were in their rambling gear, and perhaps probably a bit, we were a bit scruffy after a day out. So they all decided to go home, go and get changed, and come over to our house. Well, because lots of people coming to our house, my dad decided to go down to church and get some cutlery and some plates and teapots and things, because I'm talking about a lot of people, probably about 50 people, I think, coming back to our house. Oh, well, there you are. So you were slightly beyond me, Crystal. I was 20 then. So we did this. So off everybody went. My dad went to church. You weren't even born. My goodness. Okay, they're making me feel really old now, everybody. But never mind. Thanks for the love and the happy Easter greetings. Oh, and I haven't even got my Easter boppers on. But then you see, I wasn't organised because I fell asleep, which is why I wasn't broadcasting at 10 o'clock. So apologies for that. Anyway, so all our friends went off to get ready to do what they were doing, and Dad went off to go and get all the cutlery and the stuff so that we could have this wonderful party. Hi Jay. And we went back home, and we opened the door of the house, and Mum said, "Why did I leave my camera in the middle of the floor?" And I didn't remember I had. And our house was the house we lived in then. It was a big house. And as you went into the house, it had the hallway was actually like a big room in itself. Hi, Sarah. It was actually like a big room. And in the middle of the floor, there was a camera sitting there. Well, I just assumed, my sister and I had cameras the same, and I just assumed that one of us had actually left it there, before going out. Anyway, I think perhaps my sister went through. Oh, what? No, actually, I went through the hall to start to go upstairs to go and check why my camera was in the middle of the floor, and I turned round this way, and as I turned, I noticed that the front room. Hi, Sandra. The front room door was open. And oh my goodness, the contents of all the drawers in the front room were all over everywhere. Oh my goodness, we had an unexpected and an uninvited visitor while we were out. We had been burgled. So, it might have been Good Friday. At that point, perhaps it didn't seem very good. Hi, Lynn. So it didn't seem very good on that day because we had actually been burgled. Hi, Leslie. So we just looked around a bit more, and yes, it was evident that we had been burgled. There were the contents of drawers out of lots of rooms. Well, of course, don't forget, we've just come home from a day out with all our friends, and we've just invited all our friends to come back and join us. So they started arriving back. Obviously we were a bit in shock to find that we'd been burgled, and that's why the camera was there. Obviously it got put down and left further, so that's how the camera happened to be in the middle of the floor. Anyway, it was a bit of a shock, but actually, as my book says, every cloud has a silver lining. Because what happened, as I say, the friends all came, and they arrived back and they said, "Oh look, we'll go. You had a burglary. We'll go and let you sort it out." And my mum said, "No, come on in." So our friends came in, sort of picked their way over the burglaries, and we sort of managed. It was a big house, and we managed to sort of cope with that. And the idea of bringing our friends in while we had a burglary was actually to take the edge off the burglary. It was less of an issue because we had friends around. So all the friends arrived. We got all the contents of our drawers everywhere. It was just it was quite interesting. We managed to pick our way around, and then Dad arrived back with the cutlery. Anyway, of course, obviously at that point, as we discovered we'd been burgled, the police were called, and so we sort of trying to have this party around the contents of the house all over the floor. I had and the funny thing was, the house, it was funny, and we look back and amused now, because as I say, every cloud has a silver lining. As you went in, we had this big hall, and then we had a staircase that went up a bit, and then it went two ways. There was a bedroom this way over the garage. That was my bedroom, and then up to the other bedrooms this way. And so I went up just to go and look in my bedroom, and the contents of all my drawers had been tipped. My little chest of drawers was just outside my bedroom on the landing on that side, and the contents of my drawers had been tipped all upside down and all down the stairs. So there we are, my underwear all down the stairs. I was a student, and I'd been working. I used to work in Sainsbury's, and I'd had my wages, and I'd tucked them in the drawer, and my wages were gone, or part of my wages, and all of £7. We are talking a long time ago, but all of £7 I got lost in the burglary. Other things went. I don't even remember much about what went, but I remember the significance of that burglary, because what happened was that the policeman arrived, and he started making inquiries. And the funny thing was, he went on making inquiries for a long time. Not just on that day, but he came back and was making inquiries. And actually, I have a piece of paper here. I've just taken it out of a book, and I don't know if you can see this. It's back to front, I know, but it says, "Went to probe crime. PC found a bride." And that is a picture of me with my first husband, who is the policeman, who was the policeman who came to who came to investigate the burglary. So although we were burgled, I ended up with a policeman as a husband, and so that was on a Good Friday. So that was in Good Friday, which happened to be then Friday the 9th of April 1971. And, my first husband went on to have 3 lovely children with him. We eventually separated, and sadly he died just around when he was 60. So he is no longer with us. Hi, Darren. But we did have a lot of fun times, and together we had 3 beautiful children. Oh, I haven't got the picture of... Oh, no, I haven't got my children's picture. I show you often. I don't know where I've put it. So that Good Friday might have had a burglary, but I ended up with a husband, and as a result of that, my 3 beautiful children. Good Friday was significant there. So, but the funny thing... Hi, John, and Darren and Sandy all coming in there. So... As I say, the house was burgled, but I met a husband. Wonderful. Now, when we got married the following year, and when I got married, most brides get given things like horseshoes or wooden spoons or something, but you might have noticed I'm not very traditional. I don't seem to do things the way other people do them. I don't know why not, but I had instead of all that, I had a giant size, it was about this size, hot cross bun on a silver board with a ribbon to put over my arm instead of the horseshoe. Giant size hot cross bun. Now, don't forget the day I met my husband. It was Good Friday. Significant, hot cross buns were traditional on Good Friday. And the reason I had a hot cross bun was it was from the Good Friday Ramblers, the people who'd been with us on the day the house was burgled. We'd been out rambling with them, and they came back, and we'd had the burglary, so they thought it was fun. One of them was a baker by trade, and so that he baked this giant hot cross bun in memory of the day that Ivor and I met, and then I became Mrs. Griffiths at that time, and so it was lovely. It was nice. It was very edible. Unfortunately, we were going off on honeymoon, so we didn't actually get to eat. We just had a little tiny bit of it, gave it away to the rest of the family, who finished off this giant hot cross bun. So that was rather fun. And so I thought, while I was talking around Good Friday and hot cross buns, I would go into the tradition of the hot cross buns. And let's see. It probably dates back to the 12th century, when an Anglican monk baked the buns and added a cross in honour of Good Friday. Over time, it gained in popularity, and eventually became an Easter tradition. But of course, now you can get hot cross buns all through the year, but you only be able to get them around Easter time, and they were eaten mostly around Good Friday. The Good Friday, of course, is actually an important date for Christians. I was brought up in a Christian family, and the Good Friday was the day that Jesus died and was put on the cross. So that the good part of Good Friday comes from an Old English meaning holy, so it was like Holy Friday. Now, one of the traditions that we had in our family, I remember, on Good Friday, we used to have Easter eggs on Easter Sunday, but on Good Friday we always used to have little nests. I think they were made out of chocolate somehow. I'm not sure whether they were Rice Krispie cakes with little tiny eggs on the top and a little chick, but that seemed to be a tradition. One of those things you remember from your past. And I remember Good Friday was the day for these little chocolate nest cakes, and that was a bit of fun. So that was, my giant hot cross bun, and I'm just trying to think what else I could put down here. Oh yes. So as I say, Good Friday, I met my husband on Good Friday. Then, that was in 71. I married him in 72. In 1975, I had my first child, Toby. And, of course, hi Anna, today being Good Friday, I've actually had another Good Friday today because Toby and his fiancée are on the island today, and they arrived on the island this morning. They're not here at the moment. They've gone out to dinner, but I have spent time with them today. I'm spending time with them tomorrow and the next day, and I've got more family time, going over the next few days. So Good Friday is another Good Friday now because, I've had family time, and family time is very special to me, very precious. I love my family time, as most of you know. But in 1978, Good Friday 1978, I can tell you it was not April the 9th as it was in 1971, but on Good Friday 1978, it was March the 24th, and I remember it well, and it was 40 years ago last week, because it was the day my daughter was born, and she celebrated her 40th birthday last weekend. And what was funny about that, she wasn't due on Good Friday. She was my second child, and she was due on March the 5th, and finally arrived on March the 24th, 19 days late, and arrived at a whopping £10.3. And what happened? I was very big at the end of my pregnancy, and the doctors queried the date of the due date of the baby when I was already 40 weeks pregnant, and so I actually went over 19 days late before they actually induced me. Otherwise, I don't know, I think my babies would still be there. I don't know. All three of my babies were induced. They were very, very hesitant to come into this world, but they've certainly made their mark ever since. So my daughter was born on Good Friday. So that's the significance of Good Fridays in my life. A burglary. And I met my husband, who was the policeman, who kept coming back to make inquiries afterwards for a long time. And then, my daughter was born on a Good Friday, and lots of lovely things over the years. And then today I've seen my lovely son, who I don't see that often. He lives away in Manchester with his fiancée, and so it was really nice to see them today. So that's a lot around what I wanted to talk to you about today. I haven't got a lot of stuff to talk today, and perhaps that's just as well, because actually those of you who've just come late into the broadcast, the reason I wasn't broadcasting Hi Sona until 10:30 was because I fell asleep. You like my story? I do have some stories to tell, don't I? And it was just nice. I have to say that when my daughter was born on the 24th of March, it was quite nice that she was late, because she arrived on the 24th. My Toby was born on the 24th of November, which happened to be the same day as my sister's birthday. So my mum and I both had our first babies on the 24th of November, obviously many years apart. But so Toby was born on the 24th of November. Tasha was born on the 24th of March. And then when I was expecting Tristan, I was hoping that he would be a little bit late and go to the 24th of October. But because I'd had a baby that was £10.3, he was actually due on the 14th of October. And when I got to the 15th of October, they took me in and induced me because they didn't want me to have such a whopping baby again. So there we go. Hi, David. Nice to see you in here. Just reminiscing about Good Friday and the things that have happened to me on Good Friday. So that's why I particularly remember and enjoy Good Friday. So nice, just significant things in my life. So that was that. I'm going to do, I don't know, anybody else got much to share with us today? I haven't got a lot. As I say, I'm sleepy. I fell asleep. I think, too much of the high life, obviously. And I just dozed off and missed the start of what should have been my broadcast. Good job I didn't doze off in the middle of the broadcast. I think perhaps tonight I better not be too late going to bed, because I have got family time going forward. And I want to enjoy it. But let's have a one or two quotes out of my books, like I like to do. This one is, life is like photography. We develop from the negatives. And that's very, very important. Let's have a look around here. And what else have we got? You can cut all the flowers, but you cannot keep spring from coming. And I know lots of lovely signs of spring. You can't sleep. I could sleep. I felt too well. As I say, fell asleep. And I was actually sitting here at my desk. I wasn't even in my comfy chair over there. Hi, Amber. I think it was all this skylarking around yesterday with, I don't know if many of you were watching, but Amber was watching when I was wearing all sorts of fun hats yesterday, because we all wear... it was Wear a Hat Day in celebration or raising awareness for brain tumours yesterday. But I have did I have any hats on today? I can't remember. I always talk about all the different hats I wear, whether I'm actually wearing hats or not, because obviously I was a teacher, I was a mummy, I was an auntie, all sorts of things. Yes, Sandra, I did see that Sandra's just come in here. She's been painting her restaurant all day. How's it coming on, Sandra? Sandra is opening a new restaurant. Have we got a date when you're opening? Yes, Karen, you're quite right. She's known me to fall asleep on my computer. Actually, I have to admit, I fell asleep the other day on my computer, and I thought I was going to have a black eye, because I actually obviously fell just then forward, and I was leaning on my glasses went right into my face, and I thought it was going to give me a black eye. I thought I was going to be doing a panda, having black eyes, a bit like, well, does a panda have black eyes, or does it have white eyes? I can't remember, but I think it's black, isn't it? Hi, Sarah. So anyway, here we are. If you love life, life will love you back. Shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. That's one of my favourites. Excuse me, just got... Oh, sorry. So, tomorrow night, folks, this ruddy laptop will not play ball tonight. It keeps cutting out. Sorry about that. Hi, Karen. Hi, Karen. Hope you had a lovely day. Just having a quick catch up with everybody after I fell asleep and wasn't available for the broadcast at 10. But never mind, lots of you have come in to see me. Don't forget, tomorrow night it's Laughter with Lynn. Saturday night is always Laughter with Lynn. And don't forget, oh, actually, look, it is Easter, and I have got something here that I can wear. It might not be Wear a Hat Day, but I can wear a hat anyway, because it's my Easter bunny hat, and I can put on my lovely Easter glasses. So there's a little flavour of Easter going on here. I haven't got any Easter eggs here, which is a bit of a shame, but never mind. I did have a teensy one. We went out for afternoon tea this afternoon. I took my son, well, they took me, should I say, my son and his fiancée, Toby and Cheryl, and we went out and had tea. And on my tea, on my cup with my hot chocolate, there was a teensy little Easter egg like this on there. So I did have an Easter egg today. So here I'm just look, my Laughter with Lynn tin ready for tomorrow night, Saturday. Laughter with Lynn is better than TV. Now look, my tin is empty, folks. My tin is empty. It is my medicine tin, my Laughter with Lynn. Laughter is the best medicine. And it says actually medicine's pretty good too. But don't forget, I can't do laughter with Lynn tomorrow night unless I have some jokes in my tin. So folks, who is going to send me some jokes or some funny stories? If anybody wants to come on camera tomorrow night with me, I'm hoping that it will be all right, because I have a feeling I might be at my brother's at 10 o'clock tomorrow night, so I might have a different background, but I will certainly try and live stream, because I do like to. Well, I think it's fun, and I like to inspire, educate, and entertain. And if I can do any of that for anybody, then it helps. And actually, when you all come in and chat with me, it actually uplifts me as well. So I think we're doing a grand job here. It's a two-way street, because you make me feel very uplifted all the time when you come in and chat with me, and hopefully I can do some inspiring and educating. Tonight I was before I fell asleep I was learning. I had YouTube on. YouTube is my go-to for most things. Anything I want to learn, I Google, and Google usually sends me to YouTube. And I want to do more on YouTube. I was wanting to learn some things about how to actually get the YouTube channels found more. So I was Googling and finding, the best way to actually make sure that I get the YouTube channels found. Because what I do is when I've done my live streams, I keep them on Facebook. I post them back to Facebook, but I post them on YouTube as well. And I want to do some more educational things, helping more people with business hints and tips, especially around their social media. Right, you think you need to send it for Britain's Got Talent? What do you think? What do you all think? Lynn Entertainment. Oh dear, I don't know. I do make people laugh. Sometimes I make people laugh. I have been ridiculed in the past, but I don't care. When some people now laugh at me rather than with me, I feel it's more their problem than mine. I think we like to laugh together, and laughter certainly is the best medicine. I know that when I laugh, it makes me feel much uplifted, and it certainly is the best medicine. Laughter, anything to do with happiness, smiling. If you smile at other people, I like to smile at people as I walk down the road, and sometimes I find it quite sad if they if they don't feel that they can look up and smile. I feel if they just looked up and smiled, maybe it would uplift them. Some people don't like to get eye contact, but a lot of people do. And my neighbour was in the broadcast. I don't know if she's in here now, but she always waves and smiles at me, and that's always nice, to see people waving and smiling there. So it is what I try to do. It's not always possible, but you can work at it. I've worked at it over the years, because life has thrown me some pretty big curveballs and still continues to do so. And so I think rather than actually get miserable and upset, I've just got to learn to juggle the curveballs, and I hope the rest of you will do some of that. So I am actually going to just end the broadcast there. Not quite as long as usual, but I am sleepy. I do want to go and catch up on my sleep, and I do want to be refreshed to be with family members tomorrow, and to have some fun and with them. I will be back, all being well and God willing, tomorrow night at 10. I appreciate, as always, you coming in. Thank you. Keep up the live streaming. I certainly will. Well, Crystal, just reach out and let me know. I'll come round with my joke books, or some of my inspirational things. Maybe I might make you laugh too much. I don't know. I love to laugh till we cry sometimes. Or what about this one? The Little Book of Resilience. This is one of my favourites. Now, I am actually probably going to go and buy another one in the series. Here I've got, there's quite a lot more of these, and there's one particular one that I want to go and get. And I don't know if they've got it in stock yet. It's a Little Book of Relaxation in this series. Let's have a look at this one. Oh, look, it's just fallen open at Get Comfortable with Being Uncomfortable. Do you know, I do this all the time. I say I'm going, and then I keep I don't go, do I? I'm still here. Sorry about that. Hi, Karen. Another Karen coming in. It says, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Life isn't easy. We may struggle when we have to move home or experience the loss of a friendship. Strong people accept that change is part of life. They understand that in order for things to improve, they may need to go through some discomfort and uncertainty, whether it's going to job interviews or meeting a financial advisor to sort out their money troubles. You can build up your resilience, don't forget this is a little book of resilience, by stepping outside of your comfort zone more frequently. Start by trying new things, new foods, new routes to work, and so on. If you're feeling more adventurous, you could volunteer in your community. Take singing lessons. Whoa, I think I need to do that because that's not one of my areas of expertise. Or learn a new language. Every time you step outside of your comfort zone, you'll increase your tolerance for uncertainty. It may be hard at first, but the rewards in the end will be worth it. With uncertainty come new experiences and new opportunities. And I'm trying to encourage quite a lot of people to step outside their comfort zone because, as you know, I'm on here live streaming every day. Sometimes I live stream in the day as well as in the evening. Sometimes I live stream top tips from the bus stop. The other day I was live streaming tea at 3 and, you know, I do all these different things. And I want lots more people live streaming because the power of the live stream is amazing. And I know that my audiences on here are getting bigger and bigger. And so I can see what a great impact delivering content by live stream is. It is so easy, and it's just about feeling the fear and doing it anyway. And as I say, get on and push that damn button. And so many people have stories to tell. So in the coming days and weeks, I want to get lots more people live streaming. People are lapping up content that's on live stream. There's just so much, and so many do have stories to tell, and it's just such a perfect way for getting your messages out, whether it's, you know, being daft and, you know, doing fun things like I do sometimes, or whether it's I was talking to the pastors of a couple of churches this week and saying how you know, people don't come to church these days, or sometimes people are ill and can't get to church. How about live streaming the church service so that they can watch at home, and actually more people might get engaged with what church has to offer? You know, I mean, I was a church goer most of my life. At the moment I'm not. I dip in and out at the moment, but it was very much a part of my life, and I do enjoy linking up and going to different churches for different functions and things, and so that really, I believe, would be a fantastic use of live stream, is actually helping people to see the lovely communities that go on in churches. Some of you, of course, will know that I've live streamed the Carnivals, and I've been some of you will know I've been standing out in the rain live streaming the wonderful carnivals that go on the Isle of Wight, and I've had people chatting on screen saying, thank you, Lynn, for standing out in the rain. We're sitting on our sofas watching, and we're in our PJs, but I love it. I don't mind if I can help some people to watch in to the, you know, where I am. It's fantastic. And if it's something like the penguin plunge that was doing, the people were going into the sea dressed as penguins at Christmas time, if that is raising awareness for one of our local charities, that was for Age UK, so be it. Then I remember absolutely freezing on the seafront when the Santas were doing the Santa Dash. There were hundreds of people dressed up as Santa, and they did a Santa Dash along from where Super Bowl is in Ryde all the way along, I think it was, to Apley and then back again. And I was live streaming that, and absolutely freezing. And I'd taken my glove off because I can't, you know, push the buttons on the camera when I've got gloves on, and that hand was particularly freezing, and I was really cold. And I was standing next to Mo, who I'm not sure if Mo's in the broadcast. Mo is a wonderful friend of mine who does some fantastic photography, photographs the red squirrels and the beautiful robins of the island, and she was doing some photographs, and we were absolutely freezing. Our teeth were almost chattering with the cold. But somebody, Lynn, one of my Facebook friends called Lynn, and another Lynn, she said, "Oh, thank you, Lynn. That's wonderful that you're there live streaming. We're sitting in the warm and we can see out where you are." I don't know whether they could specifically see me, but it turned out that she and her husband were sitting in. They could see all the Santas from where they were. They were sitting in the Ryde Castle Hotel, which was just opposite where we were filming. And what this lovely lady said, you see, the power of the live stream has brought me so many friends. So many of you coming in here now I've not actually met, but I feel I know you. I need to bring you on camera so I know you as well as you know me, because when my face is here you get to see me. I don't get to see you so much, but I do know you're there and I know you're friends. And so you know, the live stream just is making all these friendships. And so she said, when you finished, why don't you come over to the Ryde Castle? And the lovely lady, she introduced me to her husband. They were having a lovely roast meal, and we didn't want to interrupt, but Mo and I went over, and she said, oh, can I get you some hot drinks, you know? And it was just so nice that we met in real, one of my Facebook friends. And this keeps on happening to me because more and more people are joining me on Facebook, on the live stream, and then I'm actually getting to meet them. And some of them I meet out here on the island, and they say to me, "Oh, hello, Lynn." And I say, "Oh, have we met?" And of course they know me because they've seen me on broadcast. I might not always be wearing, you know, I don't always go around the supermarket dressed like this, but they do recognise me in the supermarket or wherever it was. The other day it was over the frozen carrots, and somebody said hello to me, and it turned out I hadn't met him, but actually he came into the live broadcast. So, but one of the things I'm really trying to do, and it's really seemed to working, is to be pulling a community together. You know, we might not all be here on the Isle of Wight, but we are a community together within the within the boundaries of my Facebook. But we can do so much, you know, together. We can, more and more of us can get to know each other. We can do more fantastic things. And just amazing. Now, I have to tell you, today I did something I never knew I was going to do today. As you know, my son was here earlier, and my son is a web developer. He's one of those, well, I think they call them geeks, don't they? The people who sit in the background. Thank you, Crystal. The people who sit in the background and do all that clever stuff with code and that, which is gobbledygook to me. That's not my area of expertise. But what he had, yeah, we can all work as a team, and no iron team. If we pull together, we can do amazing things, and we will do amazing things going forward. I mean, we've even done some fundraising this week for the White Brainy Bunch charity, the charity that's supporting people with brain tumours. Just by me, doing funny things on here, people have wanted to donate. And then the bus driver, when he saw me wearing a hat, and I told him why I was wearing a hat, he gave me some money. We can just motivate and do so much. So I was talking to my son, and he said, "Mum, I'm going to teach you to make a website." Now, I had no idea. I'm good on live stream. I'm good. I can do all the front end, and I do the social media. I teach people social media. I'm a social media manager for a couple of businesses here in Ryde. And so I had no idea I was going to start building a website. No idea. But apparently on WordPress, you can have a free website. I know WordPress because my boys have built me a couple of websites on WordPress, but I had no idea that when I woke up this morning I was going to be building a website. So I have started building a website, and it's part of, I want you community people to come in and sort of help me and encourage me on the way, because as I've become much more of a community person, and my heart and my passion is in trying to bring the community together. Hi, Matt. I now have got set up a website. It's an Isle of Wight one, but that doesn't mean those of you not on the Isle of Wight can't be involved. You can support me in this. What I want to do is absolutely show off much more of the beauty of the island, and I think we've called it. What have I called it? Isle of Wight is my life, or something like that. Yes, I think that's what it was. A long time ago this morning. Don't forget, I fell asleep just now, so I'm feeling sleepy. And it's a new website, and what I want to do is show the beauty of life here on the island. And it's going to be, it's not a website about me, it's a website about the community. So I want to bring the stories from the community to the website for people to learn. So it will be stories around the charities, stories around the wonderful people. Yes, that's right, Karen, the magical island. You call it the magical island. Queen Victoria used to talk about it. She used to say, my island. And of course, I mean, Queen Victoria had a holiday home here on the island. I love our beautiful Osborne house. And I tend to talk about my island like there's no other island in the world. And that's what she used to say. But there's so much that happens here. There's so many wonderful things. There's so many wonderful people. And there's lots and lots of stories to be told. And so that's what I want to draw out. And for more people, for those of you who don't live. Oopsie, we had a little outage there. The signal dropped just temporarily there. Sorry about that, folks. So yes, so that's what I want to do is develop that website. So that was quite exciting to be able to know that I could start. I mean, I couldn't do it all on my own. My son was telling me, but it seemed to be quite easy. And so I'm going to go on and develop that. And as we do it, I will want you to all have a look and to get some input. And some of you might be might write some information for it, be guest bloggers on it, because if you've got Isle of Wight stories to tell, that's what I want. It's not all about it's not a salesy thing. Well, the only salesy bit is actually showing off the beautiful island so that we get more of those of you who don't live on the island coming over to the island. So there we are. That's my little commercial. So I shall plod on making that website. Hopefully I'll do a bit more of that tomorrow. And having said that I was going to stop talking about 15 minutes ago, I managed to go on for another 15 minutes. Sorry about that, folks. But, one of the things I do, I don't seem to ever be short of something to say. Talk. But actually, some of you probably find it very hard to believe that when I was at school, I was very quiet and mousy and shy. But you see, you can get over it, and I obviously have. And I find that by talking at bus stops, talking in shop queues, we just meet more and more friends and make a bigger community. So it's wonderful to have you all here. I am going to finish up now. I do need to go and get some sleep. I am feeling very sleepy, and I want to be refreshed and recharged for tomorrow for family time. So I hope you're all having a wonderful start to the Easter break. I hope you're all getting some rest and relaxation. I got my rest just now, by dozing off, but I want to go and get some proper rest now. So thank you all for coming into the broadcast. Don't forget, I want your story, I want your funny stories, and I want your jokes, so that Laughter with Lynn tomorrow night can go ahead. I don't want to have to come up with all the jokes myself. Give me your funny stories. So I'm glad that you enjoy watching. Ian, where are you based? Are you on the island, or are you somewhere else? I'm not quite sure where you're coming in from. I know a lot of the people, but I don't know where everybody is. So maybe you're here on the island, maybe you're not. But anyway, so don't forget, jokes. I want your jokes. They've got to be clean and wholesome, but the groanier they are, the better, I think. Sometimes if they, they're really like cracker jokes, they can make us all laugh. So love you, and I'm going to love you and leave you all now. Thanks everybody for joining me, and I'm just going to hop off as an Easter bunny and get some sleep, and I'll see you all again tomorrow. Bye for now.